Let's face it, success on Shopify is never guaranteed. You can have great branding, great products, even solid marketing and website traffic, but still the sales just don't come through. So what's missing? Well, generally, if it's not your product or your traffic that's the problem, it might be your discount strategy. So today I want to zoom in and focus on Shopify discounts. I'll show you how to set up all the different kinds of discounts or discount codes using Shopify's system, and I'll explain to you the different types of discounts that actually convert. So with all that said, let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about how to create a basic discount in Shopify. So from your dashboard, you can obviously find the discount center over on the left here. And from here, you can go over to the right and click on create a discount. Now you'll see 4 different discount types in this list, and I'll be going through all of them in this video. But first of all, let's just click on this amount off products, and let's talk about the difference between a discount code and the automatic discount. Now, the discount code requires the customer to manually enter a code at checkout to receive the offer. They're perfect for things like email campaigns, loyalty rewards, or influencer promos. Basically, any time that you want to target specific customers or control how widely the discount is used. On the other hand, there are automatic discounts, and they apply as soon as a customer meets the conditions, like spending a certain amount or buying a specific product or set of products. Now, these are ideal for store-wide promos, seasonal sales, or any situation where you want the process to be completely frictionless. Like the customer doesn't have to do anything, they just add items and they get the discount. Later in the video, I'll talk more about how and when you should be using these different discount types. But essentially, the setup is the same no matter which one you choose, but there are just some additional steps for the coupon codes. So let's first set up a discount code with a percentage off. You can either generate a random code or you can make something a little bit more tailored to your needs. For example, a lot of people like the Welcome 10 discount, offering something like 10% off for new shoppers. You can give them this discount code, and later I'll show you how to limit it to 1 use per customer. In terms of the discount value, you can choose either a percentage or a fixed amount. In our example, we'll be offering a 10% discount. Now we need to set the specific collections or products that this applies to. And you can search for different collections if you want to limit it to a certain variety of products. Now, do note that you'll have to choose at least one collection or at least one product to apply the discount to in order to be able to save the discount. Here, I'm just showing you how you can choose various different products. And if you're choosing a variable product, you can even choose the specific variations that it applies to. Or you can just select all the different products and click on add. And you can also remove them with the X's here. Now I've scrolled down to this section on eligibility. Who will this discount apply to? Will it be applied to all customers or specific customer segments? And you will have to create customer segments in advance of this step in order to be able to select those customer segments. You can also choose specific customers if they have accounts on your site, and you can basically send them this discount code and it'll work for them. This is a very specific kind of use case, and I wouldn't recommend it for beginners or people who are just trying to set up a general discount code. So we'll set it to all customers at the moment. Now, in terms of minimum purchase requirements, you can either have a no minimum requirement, which is probably a bit of a risky way to do it if you have thin margins and you need to have a higher volume of sales in order to make the discount work for you financially. Otherwise, you can set a minimum purchase amount, for example, 50. My store's set up with pounds, but yours might be dollars or euros or something else. Another way to do it is to set a minimum quantity of items so that when they buy 2 items or more, then they can get this discount. Now, when it comes to the maximum discount uses, there are 2 ways that you can set this up. First, you can limit the number of times that the discount can be used in total. So in total, the discount could be used 100 times on your site, and that could be by the same customers or a smaller group of customers using it multiple times. And I think it's better to limit it to 1 use per customer. Now, the second to last section here is about combinations. We can't really use this section just yet because we're still setting up our first discount. But essentially, if you set up multiple different discounts, you can actually use this section here to set up different combinations of discounts. So you can see how the different discounts would combine with others. That would be for product discounts. You can do the same for order discounts or shipping discounts as well. And you can see how they'll combine together. And if you don't want them to combine together, then maybe don't use this and set this up. That would mean that discounts are exclusive and they can't be used in combination with each other unless you go through this and choose which ones can be combined. Now, finally, you can set up a start date and time. So let's just choose today at this time. And then you can also set an end date. So the sale will end automatically and you don't have to go in and manually stop it on the last day of the sale. So let's set it to 1 week from now. And let's set the time as well. And we can save the discount. So that's the basic setup for a percentage or fixed discount. Now let's look at the other 3 types of discounts that are offered. We have the buy X and get Y kind of discounts, then amount off the entire order, and free shipping discounts. And I'll talk more about this last one later as this is provided by an app. So let's click on buy X and get Y. We'll set this as an automatic discount and we'll just give it a title. We'll call it buy X, get Y. And then I'd recommend setting up a minimum purchase amount. So let's add that number here, call it £100. And these can either be from specific products or collections. I'd recommend a collection of products, or maybe you can select all your collections if you want this to apply to all your products. Now, the way we're setting this up is that if a customer spends at least £100 on their order, they're going to get a free item from us. So we're going to select a quantity of 1, and we're going to choose a specific product for this. We're going to browse, and we're going to add this beanie as a freebie that they can have as a freebie on top of their order. Now, we can either add a discount percentage of 100%, which is free, or we can make it cheaper by 50%, say, or we can choose an amount off of each. So we could say £6 off. That would be same as 60% in this case because the beanie is worth £10. But I'd like to just make it free for the customer. Now I'll set a maximum number of uses to 1 so they can only do this deal 1 time per order. We can ignore the availability section. Then I recommend checking the different discount combinations in this section just to make sure that you're not overlapping too many different discount types. Again, you can set the start and end dates for the sale. If you just want this to run all the time, then you can set the start date and don't bother with an end date, and then click on Save. Now over here on the right, you can see a nice little preview of the discount. So when the customer spends £100, they get 1 item free, and this is available once per order, and all customers can take advantage of this deal. At the moment, it cannot be combined with any other discount types, and it's active from today. Let's quickly go back and check the other ones. We have the amount off order. I'm just going to skim through this one because it's pretty straightforward. Again, we can set up either a code or an automatic discount. We can set a percentage discount for this one. And this is pretty straightforward. There's not too many considerations for this one. You're just setting a discount for the entire order rather than a set of products or collections. So this is easier if you want to apply a discount store-wide rather than using the basic percentage off discount from earlier in the video. We'll discard that and create a new one. The final one is a free shipping option. So let's call this one, free shipping. You can select which countries this might apply to. By default, it's set to all countries. You can also exclude shipping rates that are over a certain amount. So let's just do that now in case it's too expensive for us. And we can select whether this is applicable to some customer segments, again, or specific customers. I'll leave it set to all customers at the moment. Now we do want to set a minimum purchase amount. So let's call it 200. And after they add this amount of products into their cart with this value, then the free shipping will be applied as expected. Now, we don't actually have to limit this to 1 use per customer, as this could just be a deal that runs at all times on our site. Now we'll check that this free shipping can combine with one other discount type that's being provided by the app. Again, I'll cover that later in the video. And then we'll click on done. We set our active date and we don't need an end date for this, so we'll save this discount. Again, you can check the preview over on the right-hand side here to see exactly how you set it up and whether you need to make any changes. So now that you know how to set up the discounts, let's see how you should use them strategically to increase your sales. Here's a list of 7 different tried and tested discount strategies and when you should use them. Number 1, the first time customer discounts. Now, I mentioned this as we were setting up our first offer. By giving a 10 or 15% discount to a customer's first order, it's a great way to convert new visitors. Now, this works especially well when paired with an email signup. So they sign up to your email, you send them the code, they can enter that code at checkout and save 10%. Number 2 is called spend-based incentives. So basically, if you want to increase your average order value, you need to incentivize people to spend more in order to save more. Now, of course, if they're spending more, that means more money for you. So for example, they could get $15 off when they spend $100 or something like that. This can push customers to add 1 or 2 more items to their cart before they go to checkout and thus increase your average order value. Number 3 is the very popular free shipping threshold. Now, this one is especially popular because one of the main reasons for customers to abandon their cart before checkout is because of high shipping fees or essentially any fee that they weren't expecting before they got to checkout. So by offering free shipping over a certain spending amount, like $100, then you're giving customers a clear incentive to spend more and complete their order without having to pay those extra fees. Number 4 is volume-based discounts. So you can encourage people to buy in bulk with offers like buy 2 and get 1 free. You can set that up, of course, using the Buy X and Get Y option, as I showed you. You just need to set the quantity here of what the customer will get, like 3 specific products, and then they can get their 1 free in this section here. This works great for products that people naturally buy more of, like skincare, candles, or snacks. But if you stay with me till later in the video, I'll actually show you a better way to set this up, which shows the discount on product pages rather than just in the cart or checkout phase of the buying process. Number 5 is time-limited offers. So we know that urgency drives action, and with flash sales, weekend-only discounts, and countdown timers, you can really create a buy now pressure, which pushes the customer over the line to make that purchase before they leave your site. This can really help to pick up things when you're going through a bit of a slow period. Number 6, abandoned cart recovery. Now, this isn't something you strictly set up in the discount center of Shopify, but if you're using any kind of email app, you can set up an abandoned cart recovery system where customers will receive an email prompting them to purchase their cart with a small discount that you're offering them. Now, be careful with this because some customers know this game and they will actually anticipate you sending them a discount. So maybe you just have to humor them and get that order to go through. And finally, number 7 is to set up exclusive offers for VIPs or repeat customers. So the idea with this one is to make your top customers feel more appreciated. This will require a little bit more setup and nuance. You can give them bigger discounts, earlier access to new products, or exclusive bundles of products at discounted rates. That way they feel special and you get to keep a valued customer for a lot longer in the future. So those were just 7 different ideas, but they all do have something in common. Each one is tailored to a specific goal and audience. Now, next up, I want to talk about a type of discount that Shopify doesn't actually handle very well. So there's no doubt that Shopify's discount system is pretty awesome by default, but there are a few features that are missing, such as setting up the different kinds of specific bulk discounts or volume discounts that larger shops or wholesalers like to use. So here at Barn2, we realized there's a better way to visualize these kinds of discounts on product pages. Barn2 is a company that started out making WordPress and WooCommerce plugins, and we brought that knowledge over to Shopify, and that's why we created the Barn2 Bundles and Bulk Discounts Shopify app. It adds 2 new discount types, volume bundles and bulk pricing tiers, which are displayed next to product prices, and they work automatically without any coupon codes needed. So let's take a quick look at each of those. Volume bundle discounts apply to multiple quantities of the same product. So for example, you might sell one item for $50, but when they're buying 2 items, they get 10% off, and 3 items, maybe they get 20% off. So the discounts can scale with the number of items that are being bought. While creating this kind of discount, you can set up either a percentage or a fixed amount as the discount type, and you can set different pricing tiers depending on the number of items that are being bought. You can also display the table either in this horizontal layout or using a vertical layout, which is ideal for 3 different discount tiers, as you can see here. Now, somewhat similar, but a little bit different, we have bulk discounts, which can apply across multiple products and larger quantities of those products. So here I have a discount for 5 to 9 items. There's a 5% off coupon. 10 to 20 items is 15% off, and 20 plus is 20% off. You can even see a preview of the price per item over on the right-hand side of this table. So you define the ranges of minimum and maximum quantities, as well as the discount percentage or fixed discount amount that you want to offer. The app is super easy to use, and I go through all the details in this video here, which you can watch next. Or you can click on this link here to try out the app for free on your own Shopify store. And of course, thanks for watching.